We live in an age where speed is considered a virtue, the faster, the better. Are you hungry? Your smartphone allows you to order food from countless restaurants and have it delivered in no time. Want to get divorced? Today's streaming services bring the latest movies and TV series to your living room at the click of a button. We can communicate directly with people all over the world and receive information instantly, wherever we are, as long as we have an internet connection. Thanks to dating apps, we also have access to an unprecedentedly large pool of potential partners through our smartphones. Whatever we want it fast, because time is money, and we don't want to waste any of it. The ability to speed up many life processes seems like a blessing. We can live more efficiently and accomplish more in a shorter period. We can be more productive, enjoy more entertainment, connect with more people, and travel to more destinations in our lives. But does doing more in less time lead to better, more enjoyable experiences? Is a fast life a happier life? A growing number of people believe we would be better off slowing down. This slower approach to life is known as slow living. As a countermovement, slow living opposes fast living, which aims to experience many things in a short time. Living at a high speed often results in a rushed, chaotic, and superficial existence, leaving little appreciation for others or the moment. Instead, slow living encourages us to prioritize what really matters and take the time to absorb it. Thus, slow living involves simplifying one's life and enjoying the present moment. When we attempt to define slow living, theoretically and practically, we discover many interpretations and approaches to living more slowly. It seems that slow living is largely open to interpretation. However, values such as simplicity, balance, intentionality, and mindfulness are recurring components among expressions of slow living. But aside from lifestyle practices, is there a philosophical basis for slow living? The idea of slowing down life is not new. Thinkers such as Henry David Thoreau and Arthur Schopenhauer preferred to live at a slower pace. This video not only explores the slow lifestyle and how to practice it, but also delves into some philosophical ideas that support the notion of slow living. The ability to speed up certain aspects of life and fit as many experiences as possible into one lifetime feels enriching. More experiences seem better. Additionally, by doing things faster, we can live our lives more efficiently, accomplishing more in less time. However, this increasing pace has a downside, as the greater quantity of our experiences may significantly reduce their quality. When we are constantly in a rush, we may lack the time or mental space to engage fully in the activities we value most. We might rush through meals, conversations, or other pursuits without truly enjoying them, rendering them less satisfying. When we are always in a hurry, we may miss important details or nuances in our experiences. For example, if we rush through a museum exhibit, we may fail to appreciate each piece of art or read the accompanying descriptions, diminishing our understanding and enjoyment of the exhibition as a whole. Living life at a fast pace can also lead to overstimulation or burnout, especially if we constantly seek out as many experiences as possible. When we're perpetually on the go, we may not give ourselves enough time or space to process our experiences, making them less meaningful and memorable. Thus, we may think we've undergone a lot, but in reality, we've merely skimmed the surface, often barely paying attention. Lack of attention can negatively impact our happiness. For instance, when we rush and fail to engage fully with our surroundings, we may miss moments of joy or contentment. We might neglect to appreciate the little things that bring us happiness, such as spending time with loved ones, enjoying a beautiful sunset, savoring a delicious meal, or reflecting on past joyful experiences. Moving too quickly comes at a cost. It can harm our mental health and well-being. When we are constantly on the go without taking the time to care for ourselves, we may feel overwhelmed, anxious, or depressed. Moreover, we could become so focused on achieving our goals or completing tasks that we neglect the things that genuinely bring us happiness and satisfaction, often simple things that are easy to obtain. In a world that values productivity and a hustle culture, the idea of slowing down may seem counterintuitive. Yet, stepping back can help eliminate the stress and chaos that obscure what we truly seek: feelings of contentment, joy, and happiness. What did the philosophers of old say about slowing down life to enjoy it to the fullest? The ancient Greek philosopher Epicurus advocated for living a simple life, finding contentment in little rather than in the endless pursuit of vain pleasures. His philosophy states that the essentials for a happy life, such as simple food, shelter, and quiet, are easy to obtain. For Epicurus, the best pleasure is constant pleasure, the satisfaction of our desires and freedom from want. In contrast, fleeting pleasures, like those from play, eating, or sexual intercourse, are temporary and often unfulfilling. Epicurus's prioritization of stable pleasures over fleeting ones is pertinent to the concept of slow living, emphasizing a deliberate and conscious approach to life, being selective about one's pleasures. Individuals can achieve a greater sense of balance and satisfaction in their lives by focusing on cultivating long-term, stable sources of pleasure rather than constantly seeking temporary thrills and distractions. The simpler our pleasures are, the easier it is to reach a state of contentment. If we can satisfy our desires easily, we will experience less stress and have more time to relax and enjoy the satisfaction of feeling fulfilled. Therefore, engaging in static pleasure can be viewed as the ultimate form of slow living, as the experience of static pleasure necessitates slowing down and ceasing to chase after the next fleeting pleasure. Static pleasure is typically enjoyed slowly. How can we savor satisfaction if we're always busy pursuing the next thrill? The 19th-century American philosopher Henry David Thoreau's book Walden describes his experience of living simply near Concord at Walden Pond. He emphasized the importance of slowing down and living intentionally, believing that society's fast-paced lifestyle hinders authentic living. He argued that we must simplify our lives to truly experience happiness. He stated, "I went into the woods because I wanted to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life, and see if I could learn what it had to teach, and not, when I came to die, discover that I had not lived." Thoreau believed that by slowing down and simplifying our lives, we can become more in tune with nature and our inner selves. He encouraged people to disconnect from the distractions of modern life, such as technology and consumerism, and focus instead on the simple pleasures, like meaningful work, time spent in nature, and forming deep relationships. The ancient Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu also highlighted the importance of slowing down and living in harmony with nature. In his book, Tao Te Ching, he famously stated that nature is in no hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Achievement does not require speed. Just observe nature. Processes like plant growth or river formation are slow, yet their results are undeniable. If we force things, trying to accelerate processes unnaturally, we encounter problems. According to the Taoist view, living in harmony with the natural flow of the universe makes life more peaceful and less stressful. The concept of Wu Wei, translating to effortless action, encourages avoiding force and often suggests slowing down to align with the natural flow. Therefore, Taoists consider slowing down as a way of respecting nature's rhythms, which we might disrupt when we hurry. Both Lao Tzu's teachings and the movement of slow living emphasize finding balance and harmony rather than perpetually striving for more and pushing ourselves to the brink. The 19th-century philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer believed that modern life's pace undermines human well-being. In his essay, The Wisdom of Life, he suggested that our relentless pursuit of goals and desires leads to misery. He stated, "What is most important for happiness is to avoid those voluntary evils which are not necessary for our existence. The principal cause of this is the rush and noise that characterize our lives, the frenzied alternation between excitement and boredom, and the constant stimulation generated by our complex social and economic structures. We are thus thrown into the arms of many illusions that we mistakenly associate with happiness." In this passage, Schopenhauer suggests that the fast-paced, overly stimulating nature of modern life prevents us from experiencing true happiness, as opposed to the illusions we mistake for happiness, such as wealth and status. He proposed that we should strive to simplify our lives and avoid distractions and unnecessary stress. Thus, slow living aligns with Schopenhauer's belief that slowing down one's life, or eliminating haste and noise, is essential to achieving true happiness and contentment. Another aspect of Schopenhauer's philosophy that supports the idea of slow living is his distinction between two types of pleasure: pleasures of the will and pleasures of the mind. He considered pleasures of the will to be inferior, as they stem from satisfying our desires and needs, such as hunger and thirst. While these pleasures are transient and ultimately unsatisfactory, pleasures of the mind, stemming from the contemplation of science, art, and philosophy, are more enduring and provide a sense of lasting fulfillment. Intellectual pleasures are also more accessible than pleasures of the will. They are relatively inexpensive and do not rely on external circumstances. By nature, intellectual pleasures are slow. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor of ancient Rome, offered straightforward advice relevant to our quest for tranquility. He advised, "If you seek peace, do less. Or, more precisely, do what is necessary, what the demands of social living require, and in the manner required. This yields double satisfaction, doing less and doing it better. Most of what we say and do is unnecessary. If you can eliminate it, you will have more time and peace. Ask yourself every moment, is this necessary?" In relation to slow living, we can invoke this passage as a reminder to focus on the essentials. Juggling too many tasks creates stress. Conversely, by doing less, we can pay more attention to the activities we choose and approach them more slowly and thoughtfully. As Marcus Aurelius noted, we will gain more time and more peace, which are fundamental components of slow living. So, how can we apply slow living in practice? Does it involve simplifying our social circles, relinquishing jobs that require excessive work, and appreciating life's small joys? What steps can we take to slow down and enjoy life more fully? There are countless ways to embrace the idea of slow living in our lives, and we will explore some practical examples. The first is to simplify one's schedule. Our lives can become overwhelming and complicated, leaving us stressed. To slow things down, simplify your schedule by saying no to commitments that don't align with your priorities, allowing for breaks when necessary, and prioritizing relaxation and calm. Disconnecting from technology is another way to decelerate our lives. While slow living doesn't reject technological progress, it encourages mindful engagement with it. Technology can be a significant source of stress and distraction. To slow down and be more present, we can take regular breaks from screens, unplug during meals, and set aside time for quiet reflection. Developing mindfulness is another practical approach to living slow. Mindfulness involves being fully present in our daily activities and can be cultivated through practices like meditation and yoga. In line with Taoist philosophy, connecting with nature is also an effective way to slow down and can help ground us. Spending time outdoors has been shown to reduce stress and anxiety. The Japanese philosophy of wabi-sabi, discussed in a previous video, promotes practices like forest bathing, whereby we intentionally slow our pace while walking in the forest. Instead of focusing on reaching a destination, we can appreciate the beauty of nature and open ourselves to its healing powers. Although living life in the fast lane may appear thrilling, it isn't necessarily the key to happiness. Slowing down can be deeply rewarding. Instead of sprinting through life superficially, we can choose to engage more profoundly and present in each moment. Thank you for watching.